Day 9 of 30 Days Shaolin, practicing patterns from Shaolin Kung Fu, Wing Chun and Tai Chi Chuan in goat stance to build internal force. How can just standing build internal force, and why is it that we practice standing first and not movements, and then later on progress to movements? Well, to the uninitiated, it is just standing, but to the initiated, it is more than just standing. You see, every person is made up of three components, namely Jing, Qi and Shen, which means the physical body, the energy and the mind. And in the Chan Chuan exercise, the initiated practitioner assumes just one physical position so that he can fully focus on energy and mind. If he performs many physical movements, he may be distracted from the energy and mind to pay attention to the physical body. But he does not merely assume any physical position, he assumes a position that's best suited for his purpose. So hence there are different stances for Chan Chuan and for different specific purposes as well. So once he's taken care of the physical position, does not have to worry about it anymore, he can focus on his mind, and he assumes one or two mental positions. He either focuses point on one or on one point, or he focuses his mind on nothing. In Zen terms, he attains one mind or no mind. So after having taken care of his mind, he concentrates on energy training, and he does this one or two tasks. He can let his energy flow, or he can let his energy accumulate. So this is accomplished naturally. If his energy flows, then he lets it flow, and if it accumulates, he lets it accumulate. So either task will generate tremendous internal force. So in theory, the principles of working on Chan Chuan are simple. In practice, they're really most difficult. Most people can't remain motionless or relaxed in one position, and if they do, they tense their muscles, and as a result, instead of attaining a one-pointed mind or no mind, their mind becomes stressful. When the mind becomes stressful, instead of letting their energy flow or accumulate, their energy becomes locked up, and then they tense their muscles, and that's where the energy ends up getting locked up in the tense muscles. So instead of generating tremendous internal force and peace of mind, they could end up actually having harmful side effects. So that's why sometimes some schools may discourage or warn against certain force training or qigong training as well. So many students do not feel any internal force, even though they've been practicing for many years. And if you're wondering why, well, this is because they've never got past the first requirement of attaining a motionlessly relaxed position. The luckier ones may have some feeling of internal force inside them after 3 to 4 years. Nevertheless, in our school, when most people come to attend one of the intensive training courses in Qigong, Shaolin Kung Fu or Tai Chi Chuan, then they feel internal force on the very first day of their Chan Chuan training. Most people would realistically take 3 to 4 years. And it's because these and other people, possibly their teachers, didn't understand the principles behind Chan Chuan. And even if they are understood, then they lack the skills and the appropriate effort to put the principles into practice. It needs great skills, for example, for a teacher to get his students to be relaxed, and I mean really relaxed, and great effort for the students to remain motionlessly relaxed for a period of time and remain in a qigong state of mind. Hence, if they force themselves into a tense position with an agitated mind, they may train for a few years, but not only they have no internal force, but they may also sustain serious harmful effects. Once you learn how to enter a qigong state of mind and stay relaxed for a prolonged period of time in the stance, trying to build internal force, you can then proceed to build internal force in the Kung Fu practice, the Tai Chi Chuan practice, Wing Chun, Shaolin Kung Fu and the various other styles of Kung Fu as well. It's important, as in all the Qigong practice, that you don't tense your muscles or mind or emotions. You see, all the Kung Fu masters in the past also had a good concept of Qi flow. In the internal force training, it was standard knowledge that the practitioners must not tense their muscles, for doing so would block the smooth flow of energy. As it was energy flow that result in internal force, tensing one's muscles would therefore block the development of internal force. This is one of the points that's not always understood in Kung Fu training nowadays. So even in the external Kung Fu styles, the concept of smooth chi flow was emphasized. Practitioners, for example, should perform a series of patterns in one smooth flow of energy, which is one continuous breath. This series of patterns formed a sequence, and then the Kung Fu sets were divided into the sequence, and each sequence performed in one smooth flow of chi. And the Kung Fu practitioners, even though they practiced the external styles, were generally healthy. It was probably this continuous flow of energy, and they performed their Kung Fu sets in sequence that cleared blockages, which resulted in their good health. So as we said in many of the other videos, there's a lot of ways that you can develop internal force and the flow of chi. One of the sets, which is my favourite set to practice, is the Sang Fung set from Tai Chi Chuan. And in this set, the movements are soft, flowing, they might appear hard, explosive, fast, slow, many different ways of practicing the set in order to get the force flowing and also build up the farjing and the flowing force as well. The set is actually done moving around in the stances, but sometimes I'll isolate movements from a set or take the set and do it in a goat riding stance in order to focus the flow of movement through the arms or to the palms. It's still get the flowing and internal force in the legs and the body as well, but it's a nice way to practice the set as one would in cloud hands. So the next 10 minutes or so are me going through the set at various speeds, so enjoy.